Welcome to a world with AI. Today we're diving into a military operation that honestly sounds like it was ripped straight from a science fiction movie. But this was very, very real. It's a story about the incredible and frankly, kind of unsettling ways that artificial intelligence is already reshaping our world.
So get this. On January 3rd, 2026, the world wakes up to this absolutely stunning news. U.S. forces had somehow slipped into Caracas, Venezuela, and in a raid that was over in a flash, they captured President Nicolás Maduro. This was a mission that military analysts had been saying for years was basically impossible.
So, you have to ask, how in the world did they pull this off? Well, the answer comes down to two top-secret weapons that were used together for the very first time. And trust me, they completely changed the game. One was a device that could shut down machines and people without firing a single bullet. And the other? The other was an artificial intelligence, an AI mind, guiding the whole attack with just terrifying precision. All right, let's get into the specifics. The mission was codenamed Operation Absolute Resolve, and as you're about to see, the way it was carried out, the speed, the surgical precision, it just left everyone completely speechless.
I mean, just look at this timeline. It is staggering. At just after 2 in the morning, local time, the operation kicks off. By 4:29 a.m., Maduro isn't even in the country anymore. The whole thing, getting through heavily defended airspace, hitting the compound, and getting a head of state out, was done in just a little over 2 hours. That's insane. And here's maybe the most incredible stat of all. The number of U.S. casualties? 0. Not a single one. So how is that even possible? Well, it all starts with that first secret weapon.
You gotta love this. President Trump himself gave it a nickname that sounds like something out of a cartoon, the discombobulator. But believe me, what this thing does is anything but funny.
So what is this thing really? Well, its official name is a high-power microwave weapon. It's a form of directed energy. It doesn't shoot bullets or missiles. It shoots focused beams of microwave energy. The easiest way to think about it, it's like a giant weaponized microwave oven pointed right where you need it.
This HPM weapon created a total electronic blind spot. It literally fried the circuits of Venezuela's very advanced Russian and Chinese-made air defense systems. Radars went dark. Communications were jammed. Missile systems just wouldn't fire. You had soldiers on the ground pushing buttons, flipping switches, and absolutely nothing was happening.
But here's where it gets really chilling. It didn't just take out the equipment. The weapon had this horrifying effect on Maduro's own security forces. The energy pulses create a pressure wave inside the human skull, which causes the sensation of hearing a sound that isn't there, along with extreme physical sickness. Guards reported getting sudden severe nosebleeds, intense nausea, and total disorientation. They were completely incapacitated without a single shot ever being fired.
Now let's talk about that second secret weapon. This is the one that was totally invisible, operating silently in the background, making all the critical battlefield decisions possible.
And here it is. For the first time ever in a major classified mission like this, a commercially available AI, Anthropic's Claude, was fully integrated into the military's tactical decision-making cycle. That's what they call the kill chain.
The real superpower of this AI was its speed. It just massively compressed the time it takes to go from getting intelligence to taking action. It sifted through mountains of data to find tiny weaknesses in security patterns. It simulated thousands of versions of the raid to find the absolute best plan. And in real time, it was feeding targeting data to the operators on the ground. A process that would normally take weeks, maybe even months, was done in a matter of hours.
But here's the wild part of the story. The mission was so successful that it immediately kicked off this huge ethical firestorm, pitting the AI's own creator, the company Anthropic, against its most powerful customer, the Pentagon.
So the whole fight came down to these two red lines that Anthropic had written into all of its contracts. Basically, our AI cannot be used for mass surveillance of Americans, and it cannot be used to power fully autonomous weapons, killer robots that make decisions without a human saying go. But the Pentagon pushed back hard, saying they needed to be able to use it for all lawful purposes, and that a tech company can't be allowed to tell the military how to fight a war.
So Anthropic's CEO, Dario Amodei, he actually went public with this. He argued that the AI we have today, it's just not reliable enough, not safe enough for these life or death situations. He was pretty much saying, look, our own technology isn't ready for this, and we will not let you use it this way.
Well, the Pentagon, through the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, they fired right back. And their position was crystal clear. This is a matter of national security. The military, not some tech company in Silicon Valley, has to have the final say on how it uses its weapons and its tools. Period.
And then the whole thing just exploded. The Pentagon gave Anthropic a hard deadline. Modi refused to back down, and within 24 hours, the president ordered a complete ban on all government agencies using Anthropic's tech, and the Defense Department officially labeled the company a national security risk. They effectively blacklisted one of their most critical AI partners overnight.
Now, you'd think the story ends right there, right? The principled tech company stands its ground and gets cut off. But this is where the reality of military AI takes a turn that is just truly shocking.
Yup, you heard that right. Just hours after the President of the United States banned Anthropic, the U.S. military launched a major strike on Iran called Operation Epic Fury. And the AI they used for all the intelligence analysis and the targeting, it was Claude. The system was so deeply woven into classified networks that even with an official ban, they couldn't just flip a switch and turn it off. It was still at war.
And what this all really proved is that the military's demand for powerful AI is just unstoppable. The second Anthropic was pushed out the door, OpenAI stepped right in to sign a deal and take its place. This is what the new arms race looks like. It's not just about who can build the most powerful AI weapon, it's about who gets to write the rules that control it.
And that really leaves us with the defining question of this whole new era of warfare. When an algorithm is part of a life-or-death decision on the battlefield, who is ultimately in charge? Who gets to write the ethical code? Is it the tech companies that build the AI, or is it the commanders and the governments who actually use it?
So, what do you think? Who should be writing these rules? Let us know what you're thinking down in the comments. And hey, if you learned something new today, do me a favor and hit that like button. Share this with someone you think needs to see it. And of course, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss our next explainer from A World with AI. Thanks for watching.